The summer of 1995 was unrelenting, and the tiny, forgotten town of Willow Creek, nestled deep in the Appalachian Mountains, had seen better days. It was a place where the echoes of a once vibrant community had faded into nothing but memories. In the heart of this decaying town stood an abandoned house, shrouded in mystery and whispered about in hushed tones by the few remaining residents. The townsfolk called it Willow House, and its history was a tapestry of legends, rumors, and fear. The story of Willow House began more than a century ago when it was built by the enigmatic Pemberton family. As the tale goes, the Pembertons were an eccentric, reclusive clan that had moved to Willow Creek from parts unknown. Their peculiar customs and eerie rituals had long made the townsfolk uneasy, but they were skilled in the art of herbal remedies and had a talent for healing the sick. The townspeople came to rely on the Pembertons' medical expertise, albeit with a sense of unease. The house itself was a massive, crumbling structure, with turrets, ivy-covered walls, and Gothic architecture that sent shivers down the spines of those who dared to pass by. Its foreboding presence had earned it a sinister reputation, and many claimed that it was cursed. The whispers spoke of strange lights in the windows at night, and eerie sounds echoing from within. I was just a curious teenager at the time, and like many others, the allure of the abandoned house was too strong to resist. With a group of friends, I decided to explore the legend of Willow House for ourselves. We had heard tales of strange occurrences, from apparitions in the windows to inexplicable cries in the night. That summer evening, we gathered our courage and ventured into the heart of the decaying town. The house loomed before us, its dark silhouette framed against the setting sun. The very air seemed heavy with dread, and a palpable silence enveloped the area. The overgrown garden was a maze of thorns and weeds, but we pushed through, drawn to the mansion's chilling allure. With my flashlight cutting through the dimness, I led the way, my friends following close behind. As we crossed the threshold into Willow House, a musty, oppressive odor filled the air, as if the very walls exhaled their ancient secrets. Dust-covered furniture and torn wallpaper adorned the once grand interior, and the empty windows framed the surrounding darkness like hollow eyes. Our footsteps echoed through the abandoned halls, each sound amplifying the sensation that we were not alone. We ventured deeper, fueled by youthful bravado and curiosity. In one room, we discovered a grand piano, its keys covered in a thick layer of dust. When one of my friends plucked a key, a discordant, haunting melody seemed to fill the room despite the piano being hopelessly out of tune. The feeling of being watched never left us. It was as if the very walls of the house had eyes and ears, absorbing our presence and reflecting it back in eerie whispers. The stories of Willow House had painted a vivid picture, but the reality of the place was far more unsettling. As we ascended the grand staircase, the atmosphere grew even heavier. The air was suffused with an icy chill, and the dim glow of our flashlights did little to pierce the oppressive darkness. At the top of the stairs, we encountered a door that seemed to beckon us with a soft creak. Beyond the door lay a room bathed in an ethereal bluish light. The source of this unnatural glow remained a mystery, and its eerie radiance cast a sinister pallor over everything it touched. In the center of the room, we discovered an ornate mirror, its surface tarnished and cracked. As we gazed into it, our reflections seemed to waver and distort, as if the mirror held a glimpse into a different realm. Suddenly, a faint whisper emerged from the depths of the mirror. It was a voice, soft and mournful, as if it carried the weight of untold sorrows. The words were indistinct, but they sent shivers down our spines. Our breath caught in our throats as we strained to hear, our hearts pounding in our chests. Then from behind us, a child's laughter broke the silence. It was a chilling, joyless sound that echoed through the room. We turned, our flashlights trembling in our hands. But there was nothing there. Just the empty, haunted room and the sinister mirror that seemed to hold the secrets of Willow House within its depths. Then from behind us, a child's laughter broke the silence. It was a chilling, joyless sound that echoed through the room. We turned, our flashlights trembling in our hands, but there was nothing there. Just the empty, haunted room and the sinister mirror that seemed to hold the secrets of Willow House within its depths. Fear gnawed at our resolve, but our curiosity drove us further into the mansion. We had come this far, and we were determined to uncover the truth. As we continued our exploration, the whispers grew louder, and the sense of being watched intensified. In the master bedroom, we stumbled upon a hidden compartment beneath the floorboards. Inside, we found a collection of old yellowed journals and letters, each filled with cryptic writings and drawings. They spoke of dark rituals, mysterious disappearances, and a malevolent force that had plagued the Pemberton family for generations. It seemed that the enigmatic family had made a pact with an otherworldly entity in exchange for power and immortality, but the consequences had been dire. With trembling hands, we read about the tragic fates of the Pembertons, their descent into madness, and their eventual disappearance from Willow Creek. The chilling accounts detailed strange occurrences within the house, including the haunting of the mirror in the room we had just left. As we delved deeper into the journals, the whispers that had haunted us throughout our exploration grew louder and more frenzied. It was as if the spirits of the Pembertons were trying to communicate with us, to warn us of the malevolent presence that still lingered within Willow House. Suddenly, the very walls of the mansion seemed to close in on us, and a bone-chilling, inhuman wail filled the air. It was a chorus of anguished voices, and it echoed through the house, drowning out our own terrified cries. Shadows danced on the walls, and the room itself seemed to shift and contort, as if the very fabric of reality was unraveling. In a panic, we fled the room and made our way back down the creaking staircase, our flashlights flickering and failing in the suffocating darkness. The presence that had watched us from the shadows grew more malevolent with each step, and it felt as if we were being pursued by an unrelenting evil. We burst out of Willow House, gasping for breath, our hearts pounding in our chests. The oppressive air that had hung over the mansion lifted as we crossed the threshold, and we were once again bathed in the warm glow of the moonlit night. The house stood silent and foreboding, its secrets remaining hidden within its decaying walls. We never returned to Willow House, and the legends and whispers of the haunted mansion continued to haunt our dreams. The journals and letters we had discovered were never shared with the townsfolk, for fear of awakening the malevolent force that still lingered in Willow Creek. The abandoned house remained a dark and sinister enigma, a place where the secrets of the past refused to stay buried. To this day, the legend of Willow House endures in the small town of Willow Creek, a cautionary tale. The sun had begun its descent beyond the horizon, casting long shadows across the landscape. The air was heavy with the impending storm, and a sense of foreboding hung in the atmosphere. A crumbling, abandoned house stood in stark contrast to the lush, overgrown forest that surrounded it. It was known as Graymore Manor, and it was the stuff of nightmares for the locals. Graymore Manor was situated on the outskirts of the small, remote town of Blackwood. For as long as anyone could remember, the ominous mansion had stood in solitude, its windows shattered, its once grand facade deteriorating under the weight of time. Stories about the manor were whispered in hushed tones among the townsfolk, and the house was said to be cursed, a place where darkness dwelled and unspeakable horrors had taken place. The tale of Graymore Manor began in the late 19th century, when it was constructed by the enigmatic Graymore family, a reclusive clan with a penchant for the occult. The Graymores had come to Blackwood from distant lands, bringing with them a reputation for conducting bizarre, ritualistic ceremonies under the cover of night. The townspeople regarded them with a mixture of curiosity and fear, always keeping their distance. The unsettling reputation of the Graymores was further fueled by a series of mysterious disappearances and strange occurrences that plagued Blackwood. Whispers of dark magic and malevolent forces circulated throughout the town, and the mansion came to be seen as a cursed relic of the past. It was during the summer of 2003 that I, along with a group of intrepid friends, decided to unravel the mysteries surrounding Graymore Manor. The oppressive heat of the day had given way to the ominous stillness of the evening. Armed with flashlights and our youthful determination, we ventured into the forest, making our way to the long-forgotten mansion. The path to the manor was overgrown and treacherous, as if nature itself was conspiring to deter any intruders. We pushed our way through thorny brambles and tangled vines until we reached the decaying entrance of Graymore Manor. The once grand double doors had been reduced to splinters and rot, providing an eerie welcome to those daring enough to enter. As we crossed the threshold into the manor, the temperature dropped suddenly, and the air turned thick with an almost tangible sense of unease. Shadows danced on the cracked walls, and the floorboards creaked beneath our footsteps. Our flashlights cast erratic beams of light, revealing remnants of forgotten grandeur. We explored the ground floor of the manor, finding abandoned furniture, old portraits with the eyes of the subject seeming to follow our every move, and a pervasive sense that we were not alone. The oppressive silence was broken only by our whispers and the occasional distant rumble of thunder. Our explorations led us to a narrow corridor that appeared to extend deep into the bowels of the manor. The walls were adorned with faded wallpaper, peeling in places to reveal glimpses of what lay beneath. In one room, we stumbled upon a dusty grand piano, its keys yellowed with age. As one of my friends hesitantly struck a key, an eerie, discordant melody emanated from the instrument, filling the room with a haunting tune that sent shivers down our spines. The eeriness of Greymore Manor seemed to intensify with each passing moment. We ascended a grand, decaying staircase, its wooden steps groaning under our weight. At the top, we encountered a door that stood ajar, seemingly inviting us inside. The room beyond was bathed in an ethereal, bluish light. It was an unnatural glow that emanated from no discernible source, casting an eerie pallor over the chamber. In the center of the room, we found a large, ornate mirror, its surface tarnished and cracked. As we gazed into the mirror, our reflections seemed to distort and waver, as if it held a gateway to another realm. Then from within the mirror, a whisper emerged. It was a voice, soft and mournful, speaking words that were barely audible but filled with a deep, ancient sorrow. The whispers in the mirror began to intensify, and it was as if the very walls of the manor were echoing the ghostly incantations of the past. Suddenly, the room grew colder, and a child's laughter, devoid of joy, echoed through the chamber. It sent chills down our spines, and we recoiled in terror, tearing our gazes away from the sinister mirror. We left the room in a hurry, our hearts pounding in our chests, and descended the staircase, determined to escape the oppressive atmosphere of Greymore Manor. The very air seemed to thicken around us as we made our way through the maze-like corridors, and the whispers and ghostly laughter continued to haunt us. Finally, we burst out of the manor, gasping for breath, our flashlights flickering in the encroaching darkness. The storm had arrived, unleashing a torrent of rain, as if nature itself sought to cleanse us from the malevolent influence of the mansion. The old manor stood in the distance, a dark and looming silhouette against the stormy night. We had uncovered a fraction of its dark secrets, but the true extent of the horrors that had transpired within those walls remained a mystery. We never returned to Greymore Manor, and the legends and whispers of its haunted past continued to grip the imagination of Blackwood's residents. The cursed mansion remained a forbidding enigma, a place where the veil between the living and the dead seemed to blur, and the malevolent forces that dwelled within refused to be forgotten. Greymore Manor stood as a testament to the darkness that could lurk beneath the surface of even the most picturesque landscapes. Harrowbrook House stood at the edge of the sleepy town of Ravenswood, its imposing silhouette and ominous presence in the otherwise peaceful countryside. The mansion had long been abandoned, a forlorn relic of a bygone era, and its eerie reputation as a haunted house had made it a subject of fascination and dread among the locals. The story of Harrowbrook House began in the late 1800s, when it was constructed by the wealthy Winthorpe family. The Winthorpes were known for their extravagant parties and opulent lifestyle, but their wealth came at a dark price. Rumors of their involvement in the occult and unspeakable rituals had always swirled around the family, casting a pall of unease over their grand estate. As the years passed, strange occurrences and tales of malevolent forces within the mansion began to circulate. It was said that the very walls of Harrowbrook House held secrets, and that the spirits of the past haunted its desolate halls. Doors would open and close on their own. Disembodied whispers filled the air, and the ominous sound of footsteps echoed in empty rooms. In the summer of 1998, I and a group of friends embarked on an ill-fated adventure to explore the mysteries of Harrowbrook House. The sun dipped below the horizon as we approached the looming mansion, its ivy-covered walls and Gothic architecture casting long, eerie shadows. We entered through a broken side door, our flashlights cutting through the oppressive darkness. The air was damp and musty, and the remnants of once elegant furnishings were scattered throughout the abandoned rooms. The windows were shattered, and the moon's pale light filtered in, revealing the haunting decay that had taken hold. Our footsteps echoed through the empty halls as we ventured deeper into the house, our nerves on edge. The very silence seemed to whisper, and the sense of being watched was ever present. The oppressive atmosphere weighed on us, but our curiosity drove us further into the heart of Harrowbrook House. In one room, we discovered a grand, ornate mirror, its surface tarnished and cracked. As we gazed into it, our reflection seemed to distort, as if the mirror held a twisted version of reality. Faint, mournful whispers filled the room, and we strained to make out the words, our hearts pounding in our chests. The whispers grew louder, and the room itself seemed to come alive. Shadows danced on the walls, and a frigid breeze swept through the chamber. Suddenly, a child's laughter, devoid of joy, echoed through the room, sending a shiver down our spines. We quickly averted our gazes from the sinister mirror and continued our exploration. But the malevolent presence that had been awakened seemed to follow us, growing stronger with each step. It was as if the very walls of Harrowbrook House were closing in, suffocating us with their dread. Upstairs, we stumbled upon a hidden door that led to a dim subterranean chamber. It was a basement of horrors, filled with crumbling shelves lined with dusty books and jars containing grotesque, preserved specimens. The stench of decay hung heavy in the air, and the sense of foreboding reached its peak. In the center of the room, we discovered an ancient leather-bound book, its pages filled with dark, indecipherable symbols and incantations. It was a tome of the occult, a testament to the sinister practices of the Winthorpe family. As we leafed through its pages, the whispers in the air grew frantic, and a malevolent force seemed to envelop us. Sudden, spine-chilling laughter erupted from the shadows, and the room became a whirlwind of supernatural activity. Books flew off the shelves, the jars shattered, and the very ground seemed to tremble beneath our feet. It was as if the spirits of the past had been awakened, and they sought to exact their revenge on the intruders who had disturbed their slumber. In a frenzy of fear, we fled the basement, our hearts racing, and emerged from Harrowbrook House, gasping for breath. The air outside was cool and refreshing, a stark contrast to the malevolence that had gripped the mansion's interior. Harrowbrook House loomed in the moonlight, a forsaken sentinel of darkness. We never returned to the mansion, and the legend of Harrowbrook House continued to haunt the town of Ravenswood. The malevolent spirits that dwelled within its walls were a testament to the darkness that could fester in the hearts of those who dabbled in the occult. The abandoned house remained a chilling enigma, a place where the veil between the living and the dead was dangerously thin, and the horrors of the past refused to rest in peace.